Hi everyone, it's Jordan Foos here again with another rendition of 5 Minutes with Foos. This week we're going to be talking about finals papers. It might seem wild that finals are already almost upon us, but they're only about a month away. So it's time to start thinking about those things, and in particular, what papers you have to write for your final assignments. Many of these papers that you write can be worth a lot of points. So you want to make sure that you've got your ducks in a row, and I'm going to give you 3 tips, 3 pointers on how to write good papers for your finals assignments. And I'm here with Bishop Martin Marty and Mother Jerome Schmidt, and I think that they would totally agree with me on these things. So first point, and this is probably something that you've heard 1,000 times, but it should be said again: start early. Start early on your papers. We have our Easter break, which is coming up, so that would be a great time if you have your assignments already, if you go through your syllabus and you know what your assignment is for your final paper. This would be a great opportunity to start looking at that, start brainstorming ideas, maybe even start making an outline and get yourself prepared to write that paper. Again, finals might not seem that far off, or might seem a ways off, but they're not. So, you're going to be having things like having to clean out your room. You have other exams that you're taking. Maybe you're going to be starting a summer internship or a job. So all those things are going to be on your plate. So if you can get an early start on your finals paper, it will set you up for success and to have a great piece of writing to turn in. So that's the first tip. Start early on your paper, maybe even now. The second thing is, when you're writing your finals paper, again, depending on what the assignment is, this is an opportunity for you to synthesize all of the information that you have learned or all of the skills that you have gained throughout the semester. So in this paper, try to integrate some of the things that you've learned, be that the information, or exercise some of the skills that you guys have been covering in your class throughout the semester. Not only will this make for a great paper, a very strong paper, but it will also be very pleasing to your professors. It will make them very happy that it looks like you've actually learned something throughout the semester. So if you can demonstrate that in your finals paper, that's a great thing. So start thinking about ways that you could come up with a topic or a structure that will show your professor that, hey, I've actually learned something throughout the semester. So that's the second point. Synthesize information that you've learned throughout the semester in your finals papers. And the last piece, the third tip that I want to give you, again, this is something that you've probably heard many times already, but have other people look at this paper. A benefit of starting early is that you will have something roughed out, at least, that other people can look at. So be that your friends, if you want to have them read through your paper, maybe it's classmates that are taking the same course that you are taking, or of course you could have tutors in the center have a look at your paper as well. Maybe you have all kinds of different people from these different areas of your life have a look at the paper. The more eyes, the better, really. So a benefit, again, of getting started early is that you will have you'll have time for people to look over your paper. Also, another thing, if your professor is open to this, maybe they could even have a look at your rough draft of your finals paper if they're open to that. Especially with these finals papers, they tend to be longer. Sometimes they tend to be more complicated or have more information in them, and they particularly benefit from having another set of eyes to look over and to proofread that paper. So the 3 tips or tricks for your finals papers are: 1, start early, maybe even now. 2, synthesize information that you've learned throughout the semester into your paper to demonstrate your learning throughout the semester. And third, have many sets of eyes look over your paper, either in its rough draft form or maybe even in your outline form if you do outlines for your papers. So those are just 3 tips for you for your finals paper, which I think the most important one is to get started early. You're going to have a lot of studying to do. You're going to be busy with other things. So I think if you don't do any of the other ones, starting early would be the most beneficial. All right, those are the tips for this week from 5 Minutes with Foos. Just a commercial. We have 2 more writing lab sessions coming up. One on April 19th, 7 o'clock in the center. And that will be on brainstorming your finals papers. So if you're still having trouble coming up with ideas or a structure for your paper, the tutors will be there to help you with that. And finally, on April 26th at 7 o'clock in the center, we will be having a finals paper workshop where you can bring in your papers that you have roughed out, and some tutors will be there to help you to workshop them, to maybe do some proofreading and to give you some pointers on how to make your paper stronger. So please attend those sessions, those writing lab sessions if you are able, and take advantage of some of these tips. The best of luck in all of your finals preparations. And as always, please stop down in the center if you have any questions regarding papers or any of your other classes. All right, that's it for this week. Thanks. Peace.